always on the go, but the day just won't be one without your Hollywood fix. Let Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast take care of that. An all-inclusive look of pop culture.
What's up, guys, and welcome to GSMC Entertainment Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Cynthia, and happy Monday, everyone. I hope you all had a fabulous weekend and a safe weekend if you celebrated 4th of July. Mine was pretty chill, honestly. It was like a normal Saturday in my household. We just had a, barbecue with my 4 family members who live in my house, since we are still kind of quarantined. I don't know if we're in quarantine anymore, but anyway, it was chill. It was nice. I had myself a big, juicy vegan burger, and it was delicious. And besides that, there's not too much to update you guys. Besides, we are in I was gonna say January. Oh my God, we are in July. Isn't that crazy? Like, where is time going? Like, it actually frightens me how fast time flies, because I remember like it being January and being New Year's, and my friends and I are like, oh, like June, July, it seems so far, and it's like we're here. So I don't know if it's because of COVID that made time go by faster. I don't know what it is, but it's actually insane that we're already in July. So hopefully this second half of 2020 goes a bit smoother than the first half. We had a little bit of a rough patch, but I have high hopes for the rest of the year. And regardless, I'm going to try and just stick to having a positive attitude, a better attitude for myself. And that's it. Just sending you guys some good energy on this Monday evening. And we have a lot of exciting things to talk about today. First one being celebrity love affairs. Really, it's just one celebrity love affair that I want to discuss, and this made headlines over this past week. And if you haven't heard, or you live maybe under a rock, no, I'm playing. But if you haven't heard, it deals with August Alsina and Jada Pinkett Smith. Yes, Jada Pinkett Smith, the same Jada who's married to Will Smith. So, August Alsina is speaking his truth. This past week, the 27-year-old singer made headlines for claiming that Will Smith gave him his blessing to have a relationship with Jada Pinkett Smith. I'm going to repeat that sentence again so you guys let it sink into your minds, because I remember when this first came out, I literally was like, hold up, what am I reading? What is he saying? August Alsina, he claims that Will Smith gave him his blessing to have a relationship with his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. That is what August Alsina is claiming. So let me tell you guys how this all blew up. In the span of an hour-long interview with the Breakfast Club's radio personality, Angela Yee, August Alsina managed to not only set the internet on fire, but also a marriage, which happens to be that of longtime friend and alleged lover, Jada Pinkett Smith. So apparently there have been rumors circling around for quite some time about them too. And not about just them too. There have been rumors circling around that Jada and Will Smith have had an open relationship for many years. Again, this is all just alleged. These are claims. I am not out here, I'm not trying to add more fuel to the fire. I'm just telling you guys what already exists out there, what the rumors have been out for a minute, all right? So August Alsina sits down with Angela Yee, radio personality, and they're discussing everything. He had an interview with Angela Yee, and they discussed everything from his album, a documentary, life, love, hardship, everything. And in that conversation came about his relationship with Jada Pinkett Smith. Again, he claimed that with Will Smith's blessing, he gave their intimate relationship years of his life, so much so that he could die right now at this instant and be happy. These are really like bold claims he's making, y'all. Like, I really hope it's really drilling into your minds exactly what August is saying. Like, he's literally saying that Will Smith gave him his blessing to have an intimate relationship with Jada, who's married to Will Smith. And August is saying that he devoted so much of his love, time, and energy into this intimate relationship with Jada that if he were to die right now, he would be happy and content. That's like absolutely wild and like mind-boggling, honestly. Rumors that had been shaping up over the years about their perceived closeness were finally brought to light in this interview that August had with Angela Yee. And now, after denying August Alsina's claims, Jada Pinkett Smith revealed that some healing needs to happen. So she's going to be her next guest on her own Facebook Watch show, Red Table Talk, to presumably talk about the situation and confront herself. And it was actually really funny when she announced this, because she announced this via Twitter. Like, she said, I think she said, there's some healing that needs to happen. So I'm bringing myself to the Red Table Talk, or to the Red Table, which is like pretty humorous, because Jada, for those of you who don't know about her Facebook show, she hosts this Red Table Talk in which it's her, I think her mother, and then Willow Smith, her daughter. I think sometimes Willow's there, sometimes Jada's mom is there, but it's always Jada there, and she brings on different people, different celebrities, people who there to discuss openly about their hardships, love, life, anything. So it's funny that Jada's like, I'm bringing myself to the table and I'm going to confront myself. So I'm definitely excited for that. When that episode airs, I will definitely tune in and watch, because I need the deets and I'm nosy. So it's like, I really need to find out what is the tea, what is the deal with August Alsina and with Jada Pinkett Smith. Is it true? Is it not true? We don't know. But besides Jada's Red Table Talk show, I want to first dive into, what I think about the situation. And I think it's almost like a little bit too convenient, all of this blowing up, all of these love affair allegations between August and Jada. August Alsina, he just released his third studio album called The Product 3 State of Emergency, just a couple of days before his explosive allegations went public. And the LP comes after a lengthy hiatus that left many to wonder how he was coping in the midst of a serious autoimmune disease diagnosis, losing a close family member to cancer, and kicking an addiction to opioids. Yes, all of this he's been dealing with in his young 27 years of age. I want to give you guys a little bit of background info on August Alsina himself. So, in the midst of his rise in the music industry, August has dealt with and still does a variety of health issues that have handicapped him. He has collapsed in the middle of a concert in 2014, suffering 10 seizures, and ended up in a coma for 3 days. Then the following year, he underwent eye surgery and announced that he was blind in his left eye. And in 2017, he announced on Red Room Talk with Jada Pinkett Smith that he has a liver disease that makes his autoimmune system attack itself. So, unfortunately, the bad news does not stop there. In 2017, August Alsina revealed that because of his autoimmune disease, he was losing his ability to walk. It's truly like such a sad... It's just a sad journey for him. But, regardless of all of the trials and tribulations and obstacles he has had to face in his very young years, 27 years of life, and he's gone through all of these health battles. He's still standing, and as he says, he is speaking his truth now. So you guys, I'm going to come to a very brief break right now, and when we come back, more on August Alsina and Jada Pinkett Smith.
Want to find out what movies to go see? Then check out the GSMC Movie Podcast. It's your ticket to the latest movies, whether it's a new blockbuster event, romantic, comedy, or action flick. This show has got it all covered. They talk some what to go see now. Don't bother. What's hot on Netflix and everything in between. That's GSMCpodcast.com/movie-podcast. When it's all about the movies, it has to be this new show. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to GSMC Entertainment Podcast. So right before the break, we started to talk a little bit about August Alsina's background and, all of the huge health battles he has had to face in, throughout the years in the music industry, and why he has had to step away from making music. And I'm going to now go back to the actual allegations or the claims that he has made regarding his love affair with Jada Pinkett Smith. And I'm going to be mentioning now his interview with Angela Yee. So he never mentioned in that interview explicitly, he never mentioned Jada Pinkett Smith or Will Smith, in his Instagram post, he never mentioned them too. So how this all came about, how, this explosive claim came out is that August Alsina posted a clip of his interview with Angela Yee on his Instagram page, and everyone kind of connected the dots and were like, oh, he's talking about Jada Pinkett Smith. But he didn't explicitly say their names. And he began by touching on a number of topics before writing in his Instagram caption. He wrote, "Truth and transparency makes us uncomfortable, yes, but I can't apologize for that. A tower of truth can never fall. Only a tower of lies can do that. My truth is my truth, and it's mine to own. There is no right or wrong here. It simply just is. And I make room and have acceptance for your thoughts and opinions, regardless if I agree or not. You have that freedom to feel whatever it is you feel, because when you're at true peace, all of the noise and chatter becomes that of a whisper." Period. True, August, okay? He also added in his Instagram caption that his heart has no malice or hate toward anyone on this planet. He continues by saying, "I just simply want the chains off, and I'm willing to die getting there. The gift of freedom is yours to have. God promises us that, but only if you're willing." So that is his Instagram caption regarding the interview with Angela Yee, where he discusses his affair with Jada Pinkett Smith. And this is the exact claim that came out of the video that shocked everybody. So August Alsina, these are his exact words. In that interview, he says, "I actually sat down with Will and had a conversation. Due to the transformation from their marriage to a life partnership that they have spoken on several times and not involving romanticism, he gave me his blessing." So again, that kind of is like a little bit hard for me to wrap around, because again, if you grew up watching like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and just like grew up being a Will Smith fan, or just like the Smith family fan, such as myself, then it's really hard to wrap your mind around this whole love affair. And I'm going to dive a little bit more into what he means about Jada and Will's transformation from marriage to a life partnership, because they do talk about the difference between those two. August Alsina also claimed in the interview that he totally gave himself to that relationship for years of his life. And while Jada has yet to specifically address his claims, like I said, she did take to Twitter on Thursday to write that there needs to be some healing. Healing needs to happen. So she's going to bring herself to her own red table. And over the past few years, going back to that claim that August said that they transformed from a marriage to a life partnership, Jada and Will Smith have both been very vocal about being each other's life partners. Not husband and wife, but life partners. Last January, for example, they admitted on an episode of Red Table Talk that they don't celebrate their wedding anniversary. And this is what Jada Pinkett Smith explained to her viewers regarding that topic. She says, "It's more of a life partnership, so it's not steeped in that day. We don't really celebrate that day anymore in the sense because the context of our union is totally different." And in an interview with Tidal's Rap Radar podcast in July of 2018, Will Smith admitted that there's no deal breakers in their relationship. There's nothing she could do, ever, nothing that would break our relationship. She has my support till death, and it feels so good to get to that space. So here's my take on what they mean from their transformation from a marriage to a life partnership. I think when we think of marriage, we immediately coin marriage with the term of romanticism, right? And for some reason, I guess Jada and Will Smith wanted to kind of change the context of their union and change it into a life partnership in which they are able to experience multiple people or different people throughout their lives and know that literally they're each other's ride or dies. Now I think this goes back to, Jada's relationship with Tupac. And then there have also been rumors of Will Smith having other like girlfriends during their relationship. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm not saying they have an open relationship, but a lot of people assume that the Smiths have an open relationship due to their claims and how they kind of perceive their own marriage. They're like, it's a life partnership. It's not a marriage, And each to their own. Some people really crave and need that romance and want to celebrate their wedding anniversary, and others may be like Jada and Will Smith, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think that if both parties agree with the terms of their union, their relationship, and it works for both of them, then why not? Like if they truly do want an open relationship and they're both okay with that, then by all means, go for it. Like, we are no one to judge, and us outsiders looking in truly don't know what's going on in the Smith household, in the Smith union, the Smith marriage, whatever you want to call it, the life partnership that they have. So, again, these are just all claims. A lot of people believe them to be true because knowing August Alsina's personality, he wouldn't just outlandishly say these claims to try and hurt somebody. He's a good person. He has great character. He displays that time and time again throughout his interviews and also just by his actions. He had to take care of 4 girls when I believe it was his sister died and then like the brother-in-law died or something crazy like that. Really sad and untimely and unfortunate situation. and August Alsina stepped up to the plate and became all of these girls' guardians. So he really has no reason to lie on something so serious. And Jada even, quickly mentioned that she's bringing herself to the Red Table Talk. So I am definitely going to tune in to that show because, like I said, I need to know what's the tea, what's going on. Is it true? Is it not true? Like, you feel me? I know we're all nosy, and especially when it comes to like celebrity love affairs, we're always like, what's really going on? Like, we really want all the deets, and that's perfectly fine. So anyway, I'm going to cut into a very brief break, you guys. And when we come back, we're going to move on to an entirely different subject involving 21 Savage. We'll be right back.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back to GSMC Entertainment Podcast. So, like I said, we are switching gears here. We're done talking about the whole August Alsina and Jada Pinkett Smith fiasco. We're just going to have to wait and see until that Red Table Talk episode is released on Facebook. And thank God it's through Facebook, right? Because it's going to be free 99. So, I know we all like free 99. We're going to be actually talking about something amazing that 21 Savage has launched. And if you haven't heard, 21 Savage launched, or he's about to launch, a free online literacy program. So, I mean, that's absolutely amazing. And I want to take that course. I think I will take that course, okay? 21 Savage and his foundation, Leading by Example, they're launching a free online financial literacy education program for youth who are staying home due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which I know many of us are, we're all staying home. A lot of things are closed. I don't even know if schools are going to open back up in the fall, but it's good to, during this time at home to, engage in something that's going to continue to stimulate our minds, keep us thinking, keep us working. And 21 Savage, he partnered with mobile banking service provider Chime, education technology platform EverFi, and nonprofit Juma Ventures. The Atlanta rapper's nationwide Bank Account at Home financial literacy program seeks to educate young people on managing and earning money. Something that they do not teach us, you guys, at school, and I wish I would have taken classes. To be honest, I don't even know if my college campus even offered financial literacy, to be honest, and it's going to be kind of embarrassing because I am now 25 years old and I just started to really understand what even is financial literacy. What does that term even mean? I heard that term barely last year, okay, you guys, at 24 years old. So I definitely want to take this course, especially free. So according to AP, he's also partnering with Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms to provide free Wi-Fi and tablets to underserved students in the city as part of the initiative. Again, absolutely amazing. I love what they're doing for the youth, what he's doing for his own community. This is how you use your privilege, your celebrity rich privilege. This is how you use your platform, to help serve and educate others. So I am just like such a fan of 21 Savage. Not only do I really dig his music, but he's really been about this. He's always talked about how the youth need to understand how to manage their money. And I mean, he has a song called The Bank Account, if you guys haven't heard of it. That song is one of the tipping points of his career. So it not only does it all align with his brand, but he truly stands for it. So I'm a fan, okay? I'm a fan if you couldn't tell. So this is the statement. This is what was said in a statement via AP. I feel like it's important more than ever to give our next generation the tools to succeed in life. That's what 21 Savage said. And it's absolutely true. I mean, the next generation, they're the ones who are going to be taking over, after us. So it's really important to get them set up and give them all the tools and resources necessary for them to succeed. The Bank Account at Home program's website provides financial literacy resources for a range of ages, which is amazing that this is also being open to all ages. I thought financial literacy was something, college students take, but apparently even as, young elementary school kids can start to learn about financial literacy, which is just like absolutely amazing. Again, because they don't teach us this in school. They don't, unfortunately. Elementary school students can learn basic concepts about money and management, while middle school students can explore financial planning, and high school students can download lessons about budgeting and entrepreneurship. And the initiative will introduce additional tools and scholarship opportunities in August. Again, amazing, 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 amazing. I know I keep saying that word, but it's just like literally this just like lights my heart. Like it makes me so happy that people are, using their money for good and helping others. And not that I'm saying that celebrities should give up their entire riches to others, but a good amount should help. But anyway, yeah, I love this. I love that 21 Savage is doing this for the youth, for the people, and that we're starting to really teach the youth about how to financially plan for the future and how to budget, because these are things I was literally not taught. I mean, I grew up in a household where we lived paycheck to paycheck, and we were taught to hustle, and you got to put in hours and, basically be a slave to somebody. And that's not the case anymore. So I really love that 21 Savage is doing this, what he's doing for his community, especially for the undeserved children in Atlanta. So absolutely love it. And again, switching topics now, we're going to be discussing Pop Smoke's first posthumous album titled Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. I know we've talked about Pop Smoke in last week's GSMC Entertainment episode. We talked about his very controversial cover art for his album, which has been changed. So we're going to first talk about the cover art and then move on to the actual album, the music, and all that. So on Tuesday, June 30th, Pop Smoke's estate revealed the initial artwork for the late rapper's posthumous album titled Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. The original cover, designed by Virgil Abloh, was met with immediate backlash from fans on social media, which led Steven Victor, who's head of Pop Smoke's record label, to announce that his team would be making a change. When the album was released on Friday, July 3rd, it featured new artwork by Ryder Ripps, the designer and artist who has served as creative director for the Pop Smoke's estate since May, and has previously handled creative direction for artists such as Kanye West, Pusha T, and Grimes. And Ryder Ripps was also among the critics of Virgil Abloh's terrible cover art design for the album. Ryder Ripps said, "This man took the entire Chrome Rose concept from me, ruined it with careless graphic design, and then wrote some BS about it." This is what Ryder Ripps wrote in a Instagram post that has since now been deleted. In addition, he pointed to a now deleted portfolio alleging Virgil Abloh's theft of his designs. So we won't get too much into Virgil Abloh because we did already discuss him, and he's been receiving backlash since donating $50 to, a Black Lives organization. But yeah, he's charging $500 for a t-shirt. So he's been getting clowned, and unless he, he just needs to stay quiet for a minute. Just stay hiding for a minute, okay? Stop doing dumb things. And when reached by Pitchfork, a representative for Virgil Abloh offered no comment regarding the issue with the cover art and all of the backlash that they have been receiving. In an interview with Pitchfork on the day of the album's release, Ryder Ripps said he and Virgil Abloh have spoken since the backlash. And since their talk, Ryder Ripps stated, "I really feel for Virgil in the sense that he didn't deserve that kind of hate and onslaught because of a graphic. It's not cool. There's no hate for Virgil here." And he continues to say, "I think it's unprecedented. I've never seen a public reaction to graphic design like that." He says, "My personal take is that aesthetics are subjective to a point. There's no right answer. So it's kind of a fruitless battle. But the public spoke, and because Pop isn't here, his fans are the ones who carry his legacy now and keep him alive. So that's why Steven and his team decided to change the cover." Very good point that Ryder Ripps made, because Pop isn't here. So it really is his very strong New York fan base that's keeping the legacy on, and everybody else who, enjoys his music. So Ryder Ripps' minimalistic black cover centers on the same chrome rose motif that featured prominently on previously released promotional materials for the album. As Ryder Ripps described it on Instagram, the idea behind the design was to take something impermanent and put it in a fixed state. So the final artwork with the black chrome rose was chosen by Pop Smoke's mother, according to Ryder Ripps. He said, "I thought it'd be best if his mom was the creative director of the project. We had a cover that I worked on with her that was like a note she had written and a photo she had selected, but for some reason she decided not to go with that direction." And Ryder Ripps, he describes the experience of pulling the new artwork together as a scramble. The final cover was due on Wednesday, July 1st at midnight, but last minute changes meant it wasn't finished and delivered to the record label until Thursday morning, literally hours before the album release. So the original cover art was released on June 30th. People hated it. The public were disgusted by it. And then literally like the next day or in 2 days, they recreated an entirely different cover art, which honestly looks better. It's minimalistic. It doesn't look like it was made on some terrible like graphic design site. So anyway, that's the whole issue with the cover art. And we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to dive more into Pop Smoke's posthumous album, Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon.
Golden State Media Concepts bring you Book Review Podcast, a haven for bookworms of all ages and the widest genres, from mystery to memoirs, romance to comedy, fantasy to sci-fi. If you love to read, this is the podcast for you. It's the Golden State Media Concepts Book Review Podcast.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to GSMC Entertainment Podcast. So we just got done discussing about Pop Smoke's new cover art and how that came about. According to the designer, Ryder Ripps, he said it was a scramble, but nonetheless, they pulled it off. It looks great, minimalistic, it's good to go. So, Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. The album was dropped on Friday, July 3rd, so just about 3 days ago. And it was executive produced by 50 Cent. 50 Cent, apparently, I didn't know this, but he, in the process of, Pop Smoke's early rise to the game, to the music industry, 50 Cent was becoming his mentor while he was on the rise. They had been talking about his upcoming album. They talked about what features Pop wanted, what samples they were going to use, and everything in between. So I think it's good that 50 Cent produced this, someone who was mentoring him, who really knows him, who, was there throughout the process, throughout the creative process. And in this album, there are a few features from big name artists such as Quavo, Lil Baby, DaBaby, Future, Roddy Ricch, Tyga, King Combs, Lil TJ, and surprisingly, Karol G. And I say surprisingly because Karol G did not know this man, okay? And that's what a lot of people were bugged about, because the song that she features in with Pop Smoke is called Enjoy Yourself. Now, this song is really good. Like, it has the vibes, little guitar strings in there. And apparently, the original feature for that song was Burna Boy. And I don't know why the team, the estate, changed it from Burna Boy to Karol G. But my guess is they probably changed it to Karol G to make it more mainstream. And I think that's, I like the album, but I think that's my biggest issue with some of the features on Pop Smoke's album is that some of it doesn't really seem too genuine. And when I say genuine, a lot of these artists that are featured on Pop Smoke's posthumous album, I don't think they actually really knew Pop. I don't think they really engaged with them. Pop Smoke really hasn't been in the music industry for that long, and he was just starting to come up, and he's not very mainstream. Pop Smoke's first two albums are mixtape, Meet the Woo and Meet the Woo 2. There's not a lot of mainstream artists on there. Why? Quavo, how many times is he featured on here? He's featured 3 times. He's featured 3 times throughout Pop Smoke's album. And I just know Quavo was not tight with Pop Smoke like that. And that's what a lot of listeners noticed and critiqued about the album, saying a lot of these features I don't even think really knew Pop like that. They're just on the album to make the album more mainstream, to get more listens, rate, whatever. I don't know the whole logistics of how music albums work and everything, but that's kind of my take with some of these, as well as with Future. Really, the only one I can kind of see him collabing with is Lil Baby, Lil TJ, maybe Roddy Ricch, but that's basically it. For sure, the one that shocked me was Karol G, and the fact that they replaced Karol G's verse, and they used Karol G's verse instead of Burna Boy's. That's a slap in the face, okay? Because Pop and Burna Boy, they were actually close. They were tight. And fortunately enough for us, especially for my SoundCloud users, the original song of Enjoy Yourself with Pop Smoke and Burna Boy is actually on SoundCloud. So if you're not feeling the one with Karol G, then the one with Burna Boy, the original track that should have been in this album, that can be found on SoundCloud. So we are in luck. It's out there into the world. So we're not just stuck with Karol G. No hate against her, by the way, but I just don't think she's kind of definitely doesn't make sense in this album. Out of all the features, she's the one that kind of like sticks out like a sore thumb. And you're like, are you lost, honey? What are you doing here? So that's just me. Again, this is just opinion. But overall, I like the sound. I like the music. There are definitely a couple songs in here that I can tell are more, is the sound or the song features more of the features voices rather than Pop's voices. For instance, what's the song? I'm trying to find it. Oh, Snitching with Quavo and Future. I could barely hear Pop's voice in it. Like, I definitely hear Quavo and Future, but I don't really hear Pop. Some of my favorite songs from this album are 44 Bulldog. Love it. No features on that one. 44 Bulldog. I like Gangstas. I like Yeah Yeah. I like Make It Rain featuring Rowdy Rebel. That one goes hard. That one's definitely going to be in my workout playlist. Make It Rain. I like The Woo featuring 50 Cent and Roddy Ricch as well. I like West Coast-ish featuring Tyga and Quavo. But again, West Coast-ish, that's super mainstream. Like, if you were to listen to that, you definitely could tell, like, that's not really pop sound. But I don't know. I always wonder, like, how do they put, like, a posthumous album together? Like, are these songs previously recorded? Like, did Pop previously record these songs and then they just needed the features on them? Or, how does that actually work? I don't know. I'm not an artist. I have zero knowledge into what really goes behind the scenes in terms of how to create music. I don't know how far in advance artists create music. Like, I don't know. If you're a musician, if you're an artist, if you're a producer, an engineer, let me know in the comments what's the process like, because I'm actually really interested, like how far in advance, music creatives get together and start to create music. So I'm highly interested. Overall, I think if you're a hip-hop fan or a Pop Smoke fan, definitely give this album a go, a listen. Again, it's Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. Overall, it's a decent album. I just think some of the features aren't the strongest, don't really make sense with Pop's brand. But again, who am I, right? Who am I to judge? Anyway, you guys, that's going to wrap up today's episode here at the GSMC Entertainment Podcast. I really hope you guys enjoyed what we had to discuss on today's episode. If you liked today's episode, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff, because that tremendously helps the show. And I'll catch you guys here for the next one.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. From movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.